Hello and welcome to this vlog. This week I'm starting on Saturday because on this Saturday I had to wake up early in order to go to a 2-hour long meeting, which was essentially just a Minerva staff member who shall not be named so that he cannot be mad at me, lecturing us about Consequent, which is the main event of the third week of Manifest. But so for this hour and a half, he basically was just telling us a whole bunch of rules we are meant to follow in how we attend and show up and engage during that event. And it involved a certain amount of controversy and was a very boring way to start my day at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Basically, Consequent is a 3-day event, which is meant to be in person, but we're now doing it online. That's supposed to stand in by Commencement by being us participating in discussions with the sort of people that you would typically invite to do a commencement speech at a graduation, but instead of us just listening to them, we get to actually engage with them. And the discussions are all set up around these, supposedly big, important topics. And so we were being instructed on what we're allowed to be offended by for most of this hour and a half. I do not like explaining how something is not misogynistic. Some pained faces right now. I think he's letting us go. Haha, he let us go at 8:34. I need to have breakfast now. So I haven't chatted to you much because it's already Sunday night and I only filmed a couple of clips Saturday morning. But basically I wanted this video to be about getting ready for Consequent and going to Consequent, and I guess maybe the other stuff happening this week. But I have decided that the way I'm going to feel the most engaged with Consequent and get the most out of it is if I go into each discussion with the idea that I want to develop my own thoughts on the topic enough to make a video about that topic. Therefore, I think I will not put my thoughts about those sessions themselves into this video, so I guess it's going to become a little bit different. I still want to document how I get ready, but I've not really done any getting ready. But also everything else going on this week. So, I had that mandatory session yesterday in the morning, but I spent the rest of the weekend working more on my YouTube stuff and also starting a podcast with one of my friends. But basically, I haven't done any other getting ready for this week yet. Because Consequent only starts on Tuesday, on Monday, we have to take a test. It will be approximately the third test I've taken at Minerva, and the other two were both predecessors to this one. Basically, it's called the CLA Plus. It's this test that colleges use to see if they are teaching their students critical thinking skills. So obviously Minerva wants to know if we have learned critical thinking skills. But so there's two versions of the test, the one you're supposed to take before you start the program, and then the one you're supposed to take after you start. We actually already took the after the program one, or a version of it, just at the end of the first year to see how we compared to other college graduates after just 1 year of Minerva. But now that we're actually done with Minerva, we're taking another version of that after test to see if we still did better than we did at the beginning, and also if we did better than we did after the first year. I'm not sure how it's gonna go. I feel like even at the end of first year, I still had some touch with test taking, but I literally haven't taken a test since that one that we did at the end of first year. So I'm kind of nervous. I'm like, what even happens in a test? Am I gonna get stressed out? Am I gonna get too nervous? I don't know. But I'm not, it doesn't affect our grades or if we graduate or anything, so it's not too stressful, but I'm kind of more worried about what the results will mean to me. If I didn't do better than I did on the last two, what will I think of myself? Which I probably shouldn't give a test that power, but that's what my brain is doing. So anyways, that's tomorrow morning. I guess I might film a little bit before I go into the test, because there's like a little bit of prep I have to do before the test, but I'm planning to just do it 15 minutes before the time we're scheduled to do it. We're all going to be on a Zoom call basically so that they can watch us and ensure that we are not cheating, I guess, and also like give us the instructions on how to start and such as like the proctors. But I shan't film any of the me taking a test because it's a test and I feel like I shouldn't. But then after that tomorrow I've got some personal stuff. Then on Tuesday it's when Consequent starts. The other thing that's like happening this week is that they sent us 4 surveys to fill out, and I actually already filled out 3 of them. 2 of them were pretty short, straightforward. One was on academic integrity, and it was basically an anonymous survey asking if you've cheated, plagiarized, or broken any rules, which is fun. And then there was one, which is what are your plans after graduation, that was very short. I was like, I am looking for a job. And then there was like one box where they were like, what kind of job? That was pretty much it. And then I did one of the longer ones, which was a survey for feedback on Capstone and Manifest. So basically everything that we've done this year. But I feel kind of good about Capstone, so it wasn't too painful to do. And I was like, yeah, I feel pretty good about Capstone. Not entirely due to Minerva, more because I just cared about what I decided to do. But the 4th one seems the most intense and is very scary, and I have not had the emotional power to do it, so I might end up putting it off till Friday, because Friday was when we were supposed to be doing these surveys and maybe even in-person feedback sessions, but I'm not sure. Like, that's what would have been happening if we were in San Francisco, but I might leave that one until Friday anyways, because then the hope is that I would have a good time at Consequent and feel a little better about everything so that I'm not in too grouchy of a mood when I do that survey. Yeah, so that's everything that's going down this week. I'm going to try to make this vlog more like how am I feeling about Consequent and everything, and what else is going on. Man, I just keep setting more things for me to edit. I have become a robot. All I do is attend my mandatory Minerva sessions and edit video, and occasionally eat. I'm still working on the having a job thing. Tomorrow I'm also planning to drop by the place where I am theoretically hired, but that I haven't heard from in a couple of weeks, to be like, hey, haven't heard from you, but also I wanted to update the hours that I'm available. I originally told them only weekends, but at this point I'm available afternoons and evenings because the only things I have going on in that are like not asynchronous this week and next week are in the mornings. So that's gonna be my like reason to go in and not feel like I'm just being like, hey, did you forget about me? But it's also kind of to be like, hey, did you forget about me? Because I need money. This was a nice check-in. Hopefully you're not all too tired of my face. If you aren't, I love you. It's about to be test time. I have to watch a video. Does this just not have any sound? The video has no sound. I have to read it. 90-minute task. First 60 minutes, you have documents, and you have to write something that it tells you. That is a full hour. And then I have half an hour of selected response questions. I guess maybe I should not have my phone in my pocket so I'm not tempted. I have to download and launch a secure browser. Please put forth your best effort. Fine. Done watching live video. I think I need to download a different browser, which will ensure that I do not cheat, I guess. Which, like, fair enough. I have the secure browser. Once you open that thing, though, it will not let you do anything else. So, I'm going to wait until I am instructed to do so. I have a Zoom meeting link. Do I need to put headphones in for this? I don't want to wear the headphones the whole thing. You know what? We're going headphoneless. Technically, I have like 5 minutes before I need to be in the Zoom session. I got a new chair yesterday. My parents got a new chair at Costco. It is currently mine. But my dad works from home, so he might use it once I no longer have adequate reason to demand it. But the chair that was in this room was pretty awful. Okay, I'm gonna be in the Zoom meeting and then taking a test. And I'll see you later. Trying to get ready for Consequent is a thing that I started doing. Is that the AC coming on the moment that I hit record? So I started trying to get ready for Consequent tomorrow before that happened. And then after that happened, I forgot that I was supposed to be getting ready for Consequent until like 9 p.m. And I'm supposed to be up at like 6 tomorrow. But so I have looked at all of the people that are gonna be there. They're all way cooler than me, which is the point, I guess. And then I started doing some reading on the topic. I don't know how relevant the stuff that I'm looking at is even gonna be, because like the part that I'm interested in is probably not the part that other people are interested in, but maybe that's a good perspective, but like, I don't know. Also, today I watched the new Scooby movie. I got out my little Scooby figure, who's very dusty, to watch it with me, and it was very fun. Now I'm watching YouTube videos because I'm trying to calm down before the session tomorrow. I'm gonna be tired and cranky. There's almost no chance I turn on my camera tomorrow morning because I'm going to be trying to just get myself to do the thing. But maybe tomorrow I'll do a better job of actually preparing for the next session. Ooh, also tomorrow afternoon I'm going to be doing a short little call chat. Ooh, this reminds me. I'm gonna send an email right now, even though it is an ungodly time to be sending an email because I was waiting to reply to somebody until after I went today to be like, yo, what's up? And they basically told me the main manager that's doing all the new hires is off this week. So they didn't know what was going on. And I was like, cool, if I haven't heard anything in another week, I'll be back. Now I need to email somebody else to be like, hey, I can talk on Friday because I wasn't sure what was going on. And also, Minerva did schedule sessions on Friday, but only in the morning. And I wasn't sure if they were going to be doing that. But they did, so that's cool, I guess. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be having a chat with one of the 2019s who graduated last year to chat about transitioning out of Minerva into the world. So I also have to get ready for that. That's not until the afternoon though. So I'll have time to recover from my morning session and then start getting ready for tomorrow's morning session while also getting ready for that. But I'm supposed to be chatting with one other 2019. I signed up to chat with 2 of them, and that we still have not scheduled because scheduling is hard. But now I'm sending her an email to be like, hey, let's schedule. That makes me feel accomplished. Hopefully I survive tomorrow. I'm very nervous because the people are like way too impressive and lectured us for an hour and a half about how we need to be more impressive than is like conceivable to them. Well, my parents told me to chill, so I'm trying to chill. So I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Tuesday afternoon. I've been just a mess all day. I finally started editing video, which is good. I'm going about getting ready for tomorrow's session in a very meandering kind of way. So I said I would show you guys what I was doing, but I'm basically just finding the LinkedIn pages of everyone that's going to be there. And that's pretty much it. In 5 minutes, I'm going to be chatting with an M19 alum who is working in like, I think either video or maybe even like film or TV production, and we're gonna chat. I have a list of questions, but they're pretty much exactly pulled from the questions that Minerva suggested to us because I looked at that list and I was like, you know what, these are pretty good questions. So that's kind of stuff like, how did you choose what city to live in? How did that happen? How did you make new friends in a new city? What was the biggest adjustment you've made post Minerva? Obviously we have similar interests, so I'm gonna ask more like particular to your field. How did you get into production and sort of get that foot in the door? Because that's what I'm looking to do. And also like, what do you think you could have done better? What advice would you give to yourself a year ago? Those sorts of things. It is only half an hour, and it is somebody that I have had like friendly conversations with before because we worked together actually on a video production project when my class was in India with the class of 2019. So I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be chill, and I'm hoping it will help me calm down about finding a job, basically. Obviously the situation for my class is a little bit different because of the whole worldwide situation. But I think it'll still be really good for me to hear some of these things so that I don't feel like I'm just making it all up in my head, you know? I might be meeting my mom at the grocery store a little bit later. Otherwise, nothing else on the agenda for today. Also, I am so freaking exhausted, y'all. We're doing an update on the couch, y'all, because I'm by myself, because my dad is going out to get lunch because my mom keeps forgetting to put fuel in her car, so he's fueling it up. So it is Thursday. Consequent ended today. Today's session was great. I feel like my second session, so yesterday, was like slightly underwhelming, but I almost think that's because there were less external guests, but also the topic was something I've already like talked about in classes. Like I took a whole tutorial on basically the same topic, so it wasn't really like uncovering new things for me, whereas today did. Also, a nice thing that happened today that I think I should put in this video is that because it was the end of Consequent and the in-person event was supposed to end with all of the guests being able to give us like a one-sentence commencement speech, there was a video equivalent. And so I tried to jot down as many of these one-sentence bites of wisdom as possible. And I'm going to read them to you now. So hopefully they're inspirational to you as well. Got a lot of double chin action happening because I'm slouching. So, don't wait. Take advantage of your inexperience, and naivety is actually a powerful tool because you don't yet conform because you don't even know how to conform. Like in your career field, whatever. Journeys always have a secret destination, so enjoy the journey. You can be and do more than one thing. You should serve others. You should choose adventures. This is a direct quote, which I find deeply upsetting. Never leave serendipity to chance. Who knows? Be courageous, brave, bold, and lead with joy and humility. Those are some really good concepts. Be wrong and embrace your fallibility. Whatever you do, do it with grace and compassion. Don't be afraid to go off the beaten path. This one's more relevant to current events, if you know what I'm talking about. The silver lining is that we have the opportunity to create a new reality and to really build together coming out of this. Here we have a list of adjectives that go together. Be passionate, purposeful, productive, generous, and memorable. No pressure. Whenever your name is mentioned, try for it to be mentioned with honor. You can either be perfect or be happy, but you have to choose which one you're gonna pursue. Always hold on to love and gratitude. It's not about having a great career, it's about having a great life. I don't know what I was trying to capture in this fragment of a sentence, but that I guess we can overwhelm the system with acts of kindness. I think that was the gist. You've got everything you need inside of you. I cannot properly recreate the last one because it was contingent upon the costume that this person was wearing. So it was a man dressed as the Lorax who removed his Lorax head, and then shouted, and I'm not going to capture the tone entirely correctly here, but he shouted, "Unless," and that was it. Which, if you've seen the Lorax, is enough to bring a lot of thoughts to mind. If you haven't seen the Lorax, it's very confusing, so I hope you've seen the Lorax, as I have. And that was our like commencement speech, was all of those different things from all of those different people, and it was like 5 minutes or less. I think it was probably shorter than 5 minutes even, but I'm not certain. So yeah, Consequent is over. But tomorrow's our feedback sessions, and I need to finish filling out the last survey, which I have been avoiding. So I almost want to leave it till after tomorrow because the talking in the feedback sessions could help me to have concepts, but it might also bias and anchor me, so maybe I should do it today. Yeah, I think I'll try to do the survey today so that when the feedback session ends tomorrow, I am like officially completely done, and the only thing that remains is graduation. Oh my gosh. But so let's do a brief reflection on the general experience of Consequent. 3 days of sessions. Each were 3 hours. The first hour was dedicated to sort of a speed dating type of get to know everybody in the room with like different prompts that you could ignore or use that were different with each little speed date. I thought this was really fun. It definitely helped me to feel like energized because the sessions are starting at 7 a.m. and that sort of like social energy, that one-on-one back and forth that I have to really like turn myself on and be engaged for, did help me to kind of come out of a shell, I think, in the discussion that followed. So I thought that was really good. And also it was great to kind of have a little bit of a personal connection with all of the guests that was just you and that guest. And I think it also helped us to value each other and value each other's points in the main discussion. So then at each hour, we got like a 5-minute break. So then when we finished the introductions and we kind of debriefed, said like, what's some cool stuff that you guys had happen in your little sessions? Then we get a 5-minute break. And then the main discussion on the topic actually begins after that. And all 3 of my sessions started this with a poll, which is because we're using Minerva's platform. We can take advantage of that. We all got to type in our answer to a question that was basically like, how do you interpret this theme or a part of this theme? So like, what is truth? What is art? Or what is good art was my second one. And then the third one was more like the whole entire prompt. What do you think? How did you interpret this? Because it was pretty broad. It was like the cultural ramifications of popularity is an indicator of value. How do you interpret that? And then we sort of like go through the answers and start to recognize the different perspectives that are in the room. And then we sort of just build a discussion from there. This one a little different in some of the sessions. My first session, the student actually had like 4 bigger questions within the whole topic that we grounded ourselves to. And they used like some multiple choice polls to help start us on those other like sub questions. And it worked well, but also today was much more freeform and I think still worked really well. Whereas like yesterday was also pretty freeform, but I don't know. I didn't feel like we got to the same levels of depth in my session yesterday as we did in my other 2, but that might be just my perception. And yeah, pretty just free-flowing discussion around the topic. It was really good. And then we sort of concluded every day with like, what are you taking away? And also asking the guests specifically, what do you hope the graduates are taking away? And kind of giving them that opportunity to do their little like mini commencement speech advice you have as well at the end of the sessions. So really nice, wholesome closings. I think it went pretty well considering that it had to happen all online. I do think I would have liked for it to be an in-person experience, but the virtual version has its own life and its own benefits that would not be realized in an in-person situation. So yeah, not too bad. That's my review of at least the mechanics of it. My discussions themselves, pretty good. So I guess I'll possibly check in with you when I'm doing the survey so that I can sort of share my thoughts as I'm doing that. But otherwise, we are nearing the end of week 3. We have almost done it. So it's Thursday night. I avoided filling out that survey I need to do all freaking day, but I'm gonna just try to do it now, even though it's like looking at the first question started to give me like a whole crisis, and that's why I've been avoiding it. I'm sorry the audio quality on these vlogs isn't great, but I just can't plug in a mic to my computer and sync the track separately when I'm like vlogging, and I don't have any mic that works by plugging it directly into my camera. I apologize. This is the formal apology that is coming at the end of all of the vlogging. But so the first question, which has been giving me a crisis since I first looked at it like several days ago, is describe what you believe the 1 to 2 most impactful learning experiences you have had with Minerva academics. What you believe to be. I don't know if I said that right. The grammar is correct. If I said it and the grammar was wrong, that was me. And I just can't think of what to talk about with Minerva academics. I've been having a crisis about apostrophes. Do you put it after the S if the noun is plural, or if the person is plural, or if the noun is plural? Oh, most challenging. I think I'm exposing a whole side of the room that you guys like haven't seen. Oh, it's not too bad over here. The reason I came in here is to plug in my laptop, and I didn't even do it. Okay, challenging experiences outside of the classroom. I don't like these questions. Because I feel like I don't think that I represent, like, the average Minervan, the typical Minervan, or even like a subset of Minervans that can be somehow segmented. I took marketing, so I'm like, the most challenging experience I've had is feeding myself. I don't know if other people resonate with that. I feel like that's a pretty personal problem. I'm throwing a complaint story at them. I'm like, I grew out of this, but I almost don't want to tell them that I grew out of it because I want them to realize that I blame them for the extent to which I suffered. I'm just gonna end it. No lesson learned. Sucks to suck, Minerva. What did I learn later on? To hate this institution? I don't even know if hate is an exaggeration. I did a whole video about how I don't regret coming here, but at no point in that video did I say that I didn't hate Minerva. What colleges did I apply to? I don't know why he thinks I can think of these off the top of my head. I can think of the ones that waitlisted me. I'm gonna scroll back to the earliest notes on my phone to see if I can find what other colleges I applied to. Oh my gosh. Ooh, okay. I do in fact have some lists. Okay. Could I somehow find who I sent my Common App to? Aha! Yes. Okay, here we go. Damn, I forgot that I applied there. Oh my goodness. I was waitlisted by 5 schools, yo. Not knowing what I know today if I went back in time. Oh my god. Ah, you can't ask me this question. I think San Francisco sucks. Let's see, let's keep Seoul. The thing is, like, Hyderabad's not the most exciting place in India. I'll say Bangalore. What is the capital of Morocco? Let's go to Marrakesh. Actually, Rabat. It's gotta be Rabat. You know what? Rabat. Dude, I think it'd be sick to go to Japan, so I'm putting it down. What else exists? Let's go to Ghana, y'all. My hobbies include telling Minerva that we should go to Africa. South America. I don't know that much about South America. Santiago seems nice. I keep spelling Morocco wrong, so I'm gonna check. 1 R 2 C's. Cool, cool, cool. Should I put Istanbul just to be salty? The thing is, I don't know that much about other cities because I have not been to them. So, let's go to freaking Australia, yeah. I really only changed 3 of the cities. I don't know what to tell you, Minerva. I don't know how to research infrastructure. Ooh, that's the end of it. I have spent enough time being frustrated by this. I'm done. There's also a survey that went out to like everybody about work study this semester, so not just my class, that I haven't filled out yet, but that's a later problem, you know? Tomorrow I'm going to go to in-person sessions to give feedback, and then this week is over. And that's like the end of things I'm obligated to do in order to earn my diploma. Wow. Feedback session's over. I want to show you a drawing I did. We were supposed to draw community, and I drew 5 people sitting around watching Shrek. But so the sessions were pretty nice. They were decently done. They were all too short, but c'est la vie, I guess. It's also really hard giving feedback on like our entire Minerva experience when so much has already changed. Like, we have a lot to say about how some of the residences weren't great, but Minerva is in many cases not using that residence anymore necessarily. It's very hard because we don't really know what is currently happening to the classes below us. I feel like the most productive sessions were the academics, and those ones were the shortest. And I'm like, but we actually know the most about the academics, and the academics don't change as much. Like, changing the residence changes the city experience so much, and the community experience, whereas like the changes they've made to classes have generally been kind of small. So what we have to say about classes we took a year and a half ago is still fairly relevant. I feel like the academics should have been full hours and the other ones should have been shorter. Or they should have all been full hours. But whatever. Whatever. Yeah, so that's the end of this week. This might be the end of the video. If it is, cool. Awesome. Thanks. Bye. I don't know what else I might check in for, but boy, am I tired.